Hello folks, raise your God-loving or godless goblet, trademark, with me, take a beverage, place it inside that said goblet, raise it to a happy and fulfilled life which I wish for all of us. Here we are again, another week of life. What a blessing it's been. I've enjoyed my week, it's been good. Last week I was waiting for some pieces to come and my days were all messed up, so you didn't get the Excelsior Experience last week, so apologies, but I think I made up for it this week with Arm and Leg-ageddon. I think you're going to like that one, despite the odd finger and other protuberance shown that shouldn't be there. But hey, it's really difficult to do everything all at once. So if any of you want to volunteer to come and be my staff and be my puppeteers and do some script work, I'm always up for it, guys. That'd be really cool. Do an epic version with lots of different people. That would be really, really fun. So that was entertaining, I hope, for all of you. Because weren't we all terrified of Arm and Leg-ageddon? Oh my goodness me, the fireballs from the sky and the ground opening up, and the particularly worst book in my opinion is one I saw when I was very little, and it was some weird ass Paradise Gone to Paradise Back or whatever it was called, some weird ass book, and that was talking about some flesh eating disease. It would like rot the flesh off of your bones while you were alive, and this was the activity of a god of love, which is pretty messed up. Let's just face that one. That's very messed up indeed. But hey, people with faith have to come to their own conclusions. I'm not here to judge other people or demean them for believing differently to me. They're perfectly right to do so. Good for them. And certainly Jesus is a fine example for us all. Now, that's a good segue, because although I normally do from the hip, I've just noticed another bit of horrid Watchtower-ese, which I thought I'd draw to you guys' attention. Now, if you remember, I got very annoyed and upset about the August 2016 study edition of the Watchtower, page 16, paragraph 13, talking about separation and some of the reasons for it. I'll just read it to you again. So this is paragraph 13, page 16 of the August 2016 study edition of the Watchtower, and it's the lovely article called "Making Christian Marriage a Success." So I think we can assume that it's talking about make a Jehovah's Witness marriage a success, because they're the only Christians in their belief system, aren't they? Everyone else who professes and expresses faith in the Lord is some kind of filthy apostate and a goat or whatever insult you want to call them. So this is making Jehovah's Witnesses marriages a success, okay? Let's read it together. Are you following along, brothers and sisters? Separation might at times be justified. Willful non-support, extreme physical abuse, and the absolute endangerment of one's spiritual life are exceptional situations that some have viewed as reasons for separation. Now, on page 15, paragraph 11 of that same article, they say this: separating from one's marriage partner should not be viewed lightly. Though separation may seem to be the answer when serious difficulties arise, it often causes more problems. So they're saying don't separate. Okay, moving swiftly on. That was from the study edition of the Watchtower, which is only for true and blue Jehovah's Witnesses with a JW.org sign on every single thing they possess. Here is a magazine designed for the public to reel the public in. It's the Watchtower Announcing Jehovah's Kingdom, number 4, 2016, because I can't put the dates on anymore because, well, they're just a bit lame, aren't they? Okay, now the magazine title is The Bible, A Story of Survival. Well, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the article which starts on page 10 of this magazine. So I'm sipping my tea. I slurp. Forgive me. Now then, is a world free of violence possible? Is the title of the article on page 10. Have you or a member of your family ever been a victim of violence? Well, according to page 16, paragraph 13 of their August edition, yes, because they're talking about extreme physical abuse here. Do you have reason to be afraid that you will? Well, with policies like that, yes. Violence has been called a growing public health problem across the world. Consider some examples, and these are the examples they give. Domestic and sexual violence is the first on the list, folks. 1 in 3 women has been a victim of physical or sexual violence by an intimate partner at some point in her lifetime, reports the United Nations. Oh, that's nice. So they're not the scarlet-coloured wild beast that... whatever. Load of old rubbish. Sadly, it is estimated that worldwide, 1 in 5 women will become a victim of rape or attempted rape. So those are the statistics that they use, Satan's answer to God's kingdom, for the information. And I'm going to try and show you the picture that accompanies that. Oh, this is one of a list of 3. The next one is street crime, and the one after that is homicides or murders. Can you see? Let's see, I might have to fold this a bit. I'll just lift this out. Hey, we're going airborne, folks, we're going airborne. And here it is, folks. Can you see that? What a lovely picture. What a fantastic picture that is, eh? And here's the list of things. Domestic and sexual violence, street crime, homicides. They could have picked one of those other pictures, couldn't they? But they've decided to give you this. I'm going to try and zoom in. What a lovely illustration. And remember, children see this magazine. I'm going to put it back in. We're going back. We're going back. And we're back. Look at that technology, guys. Do you get this kind of aerial entertainment anywhere else? Okay. They're saying, can violence be stopped? Why is violence so widespread? And they say about social and economic inequalities. Oh, don't go to college. A general disdain for the lives of others. Oh, you're going to die at Armageddon. The abuse of alcohol and drugs. Prolific in the Jehovah's Witnesses. The exposure of children to violent behaviour of adults. Yes. All of these tick for the Jehovah's Witnesses, folks. Listen to this. Admittedly, progress in curbing violence has been made in some parts of the world. The densely populated city of Sao Paulo, Brazil, reportedly saw a reduction in homicides of about 80% in the last decade. So the statistics don't back up what they're saying. And so they use that pejorative term, reportedly. These aren't things made up by a journalist. These are statistics that are gathered by the Sao Paulo Police Department and are verified. Still, though, violent crime of all sorts is rampant in that city, and the homicide rate remains about 10 per 100,000 inhabitants. What then will it take to end violence once and for all? Then they start going on about how being a Jehovah's Witness and being well, that's what a Christian is, isn't it? But being a Christian, you have all these lovely scriptures, and then people can change. So a man who beats his wife mercilessly can change. I'll give you a couple of examples, which I'm not going to read. Let's see this. What do these experiences show us? That the Bible has the power to transform people's lives profoundly by changing their way of thinking. Oh, they're good at that, aren't they? Alex mentioned earlier adds, what I learned from the Bible was like clean water pouring through me, gradually purifying me by washing away bad thoughts. These were things I never imagined I would be able to get rid of. Yes, when we fill our minds with the Bible's clean message, it can expel or wash away badness. God's word has a cleansing power. The result is that cruel and selfish people can change their ways and become kind and peaceable. They experience peace in their lives by applying Bible principles. Now here is the rub. Here is the point I want you to take away, folks. more than 8 million of Jehovah's Witnesses in 240 lands have discovered the key to eradicating violence. Notice the tense, have discovered the key to eradicating violence. And yet in their other article, in the August 2016 study edition, page 16, paragraph 13, making Jehovah's Witnesses marriages a success, because they think they're the only Christians, separation might at times be justified. Willful non-support, extreme physical abuse. How can that be said to have discovered the key to eradicating violence? They are implying that there is no violence in their organisation, and yet there is. What a disgusting bunch of hypocrites. So, if you want to check that out, it's the number 4 2016 Watchtower, the August 2016 study article of the Watchtower. The article in the study edition is Making Christian Marriage a Success. Well, there you go, folks. There you go. Another bit of Jehovah's Witnesses ease. Because it's the ease with which they lie, isn't it? The ease with which they say one thing to the public and say a completely different thing to their own followers. They're saying in their True Blue study edition, it's okay to hit your wife a little bit. It's only if it's extreme physical abuse that you can even think about separating. And then, it often causes more problems. Well, that's disgusting. Enough talking about that bollocks. Let's talk about something a bit nicer. Now, in the United Kingdom, where I live, that wonderful and fantastic place, Blackadder, we're having a big Australian Royal Commission style investigation into historic cases of child abuse in lots of different institutions, including the Jehovah's Witnesses. And they've appointed a new head to that. It is Professor Alexis J. And from what I've read, which admittedly is only a little bit about her, she seems to be a very, very capable woman, and I think we're going to be very, very pleased to have her on that inquiry. So I wish that well. It's going to take about 5 years, but I don't see the Jehovah's Witnesses being able to survive once this comes out in this country. Because you know what? I'm going to do my level best to join the cause to make sure that everyone knows about it. I think it's disgusting the way they treat women and children, and I can't abide it. It hurts my bones. I don't like it. I don't like bullies, I don't like cowards, and they're both. So I'll do what I can. Is it time for shout-outs? I think it is. Okay, now I'm just going to give a general shout out to all of my friends today, so I'm not going to pick people out, apart from the lovely Denise Hedberg 66, who I think you should watch, and of course lots of others. But you know who all the cool people are, and if you don't, just go and check some other people out. People don't need me to endorse them. You know who the cool people are. They're cool. Go and watch their videos. And let's just remember, folks, that although we may have relationships that span through electrical devices, at the end of those electrical devices are a set of fingers typing, and those fingers typing are being operated by a mind, and that mind is inhabiting a brain inside a human being. So let's always try and be polite. I know it's hard. I get really angry with the Jehovah's Witnesses, believe me. They make me bloody furious with the way they treat women and children and everybody. It's disgusting. But please, let's try and remember to be civil. Let's try and remember that people out there are real. You know, let's just treat them kindly. Let's treat them right. Because at least by that way we're keeping our dignity. We're not allowing them to go, oh, they've gone into an ad hominem attack because they can't make their argument. We don't need to insult these people, especially these apologists. What we really need to do is put them straight and really show them some pity, because I wouldn't want to be them. So, peace be with you. Excelsior!